live stuff is working now. So I think it is. Let me just, yeah. So here we are. It's been a long time. I'm just going to check that this is live in all places it should be, and we'll get on with it. Yeah, it's been absolutely ages since I've done this. So we'll just. Good. Okay. We appear to be going well there. I'm just going to share that from my page into the group. Right. Options. So it's live in there, which is good. So Content and Cocktails started back in the tail end of 2019, and I started to go live every week, and it was great fun, and I really enjoyed going live and just getting stuck in and doing those weekly broadcasts. And then it got to sort of 2022, end of 2022, and I sort of fell out of love with it, and did it very sporadically over 2023 and into, well, obviously we're now in September 2024, so it's taken a while for me to get back into it. But I wasn't sure it was something that anybody wanted, but I took a little bit of, oh, hello, my name has come up as Nicole's because she was, hang on, let me just put my name in there. Show names, there we go. Good, cool. So yeah, had a big old break from it and decided to get back into it. So really, it's been a very, very long time, but I feel like I'm now happy with the idea of going back into Content and Cocktails. So I'm live. Where am I live? I'm live on Facebook on my personal page. I'm live on the Grow Your Business with Video page. I'm trying to share this into the group. Can I actually do this? Can I share this into a group? Copy link. Am I going to be able to put this in the group? So once it's done, we'll get into it, and I'll tell you all about what this is about. So if you're new to this, then welcome. This is kind of it's been a long time coming, and the fun of this was that it was an opportunity to just get together and talk about content and marketing and really just chew the fat for 45 minutes to an hour. Now, the structure with all of this started actually with a conversation I had with my wife Una and with Danny Wallace. And this book, 100 Cocktails, this was my grandfather's book, and it says Madras, Neil Coxon, Madras 1945. And there's 100 cocktails in here, and in the last cycle we worked through all of them, but we didn't do it in sort of alphabetical order. So we're starting from the beginning again. And it's a really lovely cocktail book. It's got some great cocktails in. It's got some not so great cocktails in. And this was a pretty arbitrary structure to hang the whole thing on. But it was one that was quite fun. And it meant I could work my way through this little book and share some of that fun. So we are starting again. But before we do that, we'll before I get into the making of the cocktail, I want to just set out where we are. So Content and Cocktails has to have changed, because the world of video is changing pretty rapidly as well. We've in the last couple of years we've seen a huge pace of change when it comes to tech. So AI is really becoming an important part of or it should be an important part of our everyday business working lives. And I've actually got another hat that I wear, which is AI Survival Skills, which I run with Chantal Davison, and that is a membership where we are we have membership, but we've got some done for you services where we're helping people understand and integrate AI systems into their business to save them time and make them more money. And one of the big shifts that I've seen and really knew was coming, but was, I guess, kind of excited to see it finally coming home properly, is the where does the tech take us now? In the past, I wanted to, I was always interested in spending time talking about the, video, just purely video. But now I don't think it's kind of right to just focus on that because these things are so intertwined. So AI, podcasting, video production, they're all linked together. And so I have to sort of, come back to this idea that it is about content in the broader sense, how we plan, how we strategize for it, how we create and share and distribute and use it for marketing our businesses. So that is what we're going to be doing. We're going to be diving in and getting stuck in, I guess. So if you're here with me, come and ask me questions. Do comment, do troll, whatever you want to do. So, but back to the important business of the cocktail. So the first cocktail is it's alphabetical. So it's a pretty hefty one to start with, but this is the absinthe cocktail. And this is what 100 Cocktails by Bernard. So Bernard wrote, the mysterious Bernard wrote this book, and says, 3/4 fill a tumbler with broken ice and add the Angostura bitters. Then put in the absinthe, the anisette or plain syrup, and the water. Shake well and pass through a strainer into a cocktail glass. Serve with a dash of lemon peel juice on top and with a cherry. So, oh, damn it. Forgot my lemon. Hang on. Back in a second. There we go. Cool. That was almost a pretty. I've got my lemon. So, yes. So with a dash of lemon peel juice on top and with a cherry. For anyone who knows little of cocktails, this is an excellent one to try at the outset. So we're going to listen to Bernard, and we are going to take the advice of this wise individual and go for the absinthe cocktail. Now, I like absinthe a great deal as a drink, but it is, it's one of those things that has quite a fearsome reputation, which I don't think is entirely reasonable. I'm just going to check on LinkedIn because I know that I'm live on LinkedIn as well. So we've got our tumbler here, but we have a very interesting sort of situation developing in the world of content, and I think it's, for me, the big challenge I think that a lot of people face, and this is kind of a conversation that Chantal and I have been having, on and off with the people we're working with for the best part of 18 months now, is how do you take these new tools like the AI stuff and apply it to the sort of old way of doing this, a splash of simple syrup, and do it in a way that is actually useful for your businesses. Because I think one of the things that we can often find is that there's a lot of chatter. Now you'll have noticed that sort of this has died down a little bit. Bit of the absinthe goes in there. But if you remember back to the sort of tail end of 2022, when sort of ChatGPT burst onto the scene, we found ourselves inundated with kind of opinion and sort of just thoughts of from everybody and anybody, as we all try to make sense of the shape. We all try to make sense of this new technology and work out how it sort of fitted into our businesses, how it fitted into our everyday working lives. And I'll sort of tell you a little bit of a story to sort of illustrate why I sort of found my way into this. How does this always end up looking a little bit brown and unpleasant? I have a feeling that this one may be a Bernard. The last time through on this, the Mike Boss, who is a long time viewer, commented really basically that all of the cocktails from this book are basically a bit brown and sludgy, and he's not 100% wrong, because a lot of them sort of look pretty unappealing, but have a surprising. So I'm just trying to extract a little bit of. I have to drop a leaf from. Was attached to the lemon, and this is no exception. It is definitely on the brown and sludgy index. So let's just see who's out there in. So cheers, everybody. The Absinthe Cocktail, the first of 100 episodes, new episodes of Content and Cocktails, as we probe the new frontiers of the intersection between video, AI, and business. And I think this is for me actually, that's really nice. That's really nice. I would have that again very happily. Chloe says, hello. Well, first of all, hello, Chloe. We've been doing a lot of discussions about AI art. This is for those of us in the creative industries, the AI and art question is a really big one. For me, as somebody who comes from, the creative industries, and Chantal, my business partner, this is a really big question, and I think it is for anybody who is in the creative industries or an artist. It can be pretty unnerving. But I've always had the feeling that this was coming down the line. I've always known the technology was moving that way. So I haven't stepped back from video. I'm just not courting it as a thing. I'm finding, so Podforge, which is our podcast production agency, is going great guns. So if anybody is interested in starting a podcast, we've got our next batch of 5 slots opening up for the next couple of months. We take on a very limited amount of people every time. We kind of we sort of take on a new cohort so that we can make sure we're doing everybody's podcast justice. But yeah, there's been a lot of discussion about how AI is sort of affecting content creation. Now, for me, I see the greatest changes and benefits with AI. They come with using it for systems and processes. So I've spent a lot of time in the last 18 months teaching myself coding and automation so that I can be building out systems and processes that speed up what I do. And that really started out of a sense of pretty extreme necessity. We were living in, well, we now live in Totnes. We were living in Plymouth, and our kids were going to school sort of 20 something miles up the road for a variety of different reasons, including kind of, my daughter being bullied at school and all sorts of things. And we spent 2 years driving up and down the A38 and doing about 120-ish miles every day, and it was just madness. And during that time, I had to find ways to save myself time, to make my life less horrendous. And the way that I did that was through understanding how AI systems could support me, along with automation systems, could support me in creating a sort of a more streamlined, a more automated business sort of working day. And through significant trial and error, I found that I'd built out stuff that really helped. And actually, a great example of this actually was this week. So with Podforge, one of the tasks we do every week for each of our podcasters is to produce a promo document, and that includes short form posts for the likes of X or Twitter or Threads, a couple of long form posts for Facebook and LinkedIn, and then a promo email and sort of transcripts. So there's a whole bunch of kind of associated content that kind of goes out with each episode, including kind of show notes and workbooks and whatever what have you. And I've been meaning to sit down and build out a proper AI supported system to do this. And I sat down and I did it. And I'd started this process had been started a few months ago with me mapping all of our activities in the business and kind of working out where the efficiencies could be grown and developed. And what was really interesting was that I wasn't taking my own medicine, and so I actually set some time aside and really dug in to the the needs of this kind of element of the business, and put in place an automation with kind of using an amazing service called Make.com that does a whole bunch of this stuff on auto. So all I need to do is upload an audio file, and it then develops transcripts, it generates subtitles, it does all the promo posts, and then all I have to do is sit down afterwards and go through and just sense check, do an edit. And so I can be I can be doing 5 podcast episodes an hour using this system, as opposed to in the past it would, to do all of that for one person could take as much as half a day. So it really is about using tools to help you scale in ways that that aren't just totally. I mean, in this case, this is there is an element of content creation in it, but I'm only using it to idea. I'm not using it unedited. I'm using it to help get started and just do the sort of the grunt work, and then then we as humans can take over and kind of bring our own sort of creative sort of splash to all of that. So really, with the AI stuff and the video stuff, it's kind of looking at the tools that have become available and really kind of working out how the video tools that are available in the space that are AI supported can make life a lot easier. So one of the things I love is something called Opus Clip, and what it does is that it basically takes raw footage or edited episodes and turns it into reels and shorts, and does the subtitling, does everything on autopilot. So I can upload a 40-minute episode and we'll get 16 or so shorts out of that, which is crackers. In the past, for me to edit and prepare and output 16 subtitled videos would take ages to do, but now it's kind of it can be done in 15 minutes. And that for me is a great example of understanding how the tools out there can help streamline a process. Now, at no point has a creative, this isn't a creative act. This is something that is using machine learning systems and AI supported systems to kind of make. It's not making creative choices. It's just you're putting information in and it's processing it, and that is really, really useful because it allows us to get more eyeballs on content. So if there's a lesson here, I think it is that we as business owners, as content creators, need to be, first of all, really clearly understanding our business systems and processes to quite a granular level, do some mapping. But from a video point of view specifically, understanding what are the steps that you as a business owner need to undertake in order to get video content out at scale. And then can you put AI supported systems in place to kind of help you do more creating. So I don't think I've met anybody, honestly, as a business owner who loves video editing. I know they're out there. They are out there. But unless it is your actual job, video editing can be a huge time sink. And so tools like this will make a real help. So things like CapCut are brilliant. CapCut's great. CapCut does Descript. There are lots of tools out there now that really can help with this stuff. And that's why I've sort of stepped back from teaching the video stuff, because I don't really know where all this is going to end up. We're at a period of significant flux at the moment. Trust, I think, is going to start eroding quite rapidly in video, as some of the amazing leaps forward that have been made with kind of generated video become much more prevalent. People, I think, are going to start to mistrust what they see. And so we're going to have to lean into other content creation sort of modalities, so that can't easily be replicated by AI. So live video, for example, this is great. AI isn't going to necessarily come up with a replacement for content and cocktails. If they want to see somebody blethering on talking about video with a drink. It's a pretty left field. So this is about something that can't be replicated. This is about building a relationship in a way that I think possibly, as we see more and more AI generated content, will that trust get eroded? I don't know, but it's worth bearing it in mind. And the other thing that I think you can do is really long form content. So good quality deep dive podcasts, discussions, that kind of stuff that has high value and good solid content that can't easily be replicated. And this is the stuff that I think is going to be powerful when it comes to the trust establishment stuff. Is that all making sense? I know it's funny being back here doing this because obviously I haven't done it for such a long time. I don't think anyone's going to see or care. The system isn't going to see or care about me doing this. So I think it'll take a little while for Content and Cocktails to get back to the numbers of people who are here with me in its previous heyday. Just see if I've missed any comments. Yeah, okay. So there we go. I am really glad to be back doing this because it's been a long time since I had my since I've had the itch to do this, and it's here now, and I'm really enjoying it. So I will be here next week. I think, going back to Bernard's book, I would rate the Absinthe Cocktail. I would give it a good score. I would say rather good. I would give that a rather good. Next week's cocktail sounds a bit more fancy pants, actually. So this is called, so the one we're going to be, so next on the list is the Adams Apple Cocktail. It's a measure of Calvados, half measure of Italian sweet vermouth, a half measure of gin, 2 dashes of yellow chartreuse, a dash of lemon peel juice, cherry, and a tumblerful of broken ice. So if you fancy having a drink along with Tom, that would be very nice. I'd like that very much. So I will post this in Grow Your Business with Video. That's the other question. What is my group going to be called? Because I have a group, and there's about sort of 1,000 or so people in there, and weirdly had a flurry of people joining up again, which is great. But it isn't just about video anymore. Video is a part of it, but if we're going to talk content, I need a new name. So I might have a little competition to see if we can come up with a new name. But thank you very much for being here with me this evening for this rebirth of Content to Cocktails. That's one down, 99 to go. So see you next week. Thank you for being here.